When I look at Charlotte's intelligence map, I am not looking at marks, grades, speed, or classroom compliance first. I'm looking at the architecture of intelligence itself. I'm looking at how the mind receives information, how the emotional body filters it, how the soul responds to it, and how the child naturally connects with the world. And in Charlotte's case, the signal is very clear. This is not a simple academic performer chart. This is not a child whose intelligence should be measured only by how fast she memorizes, how quickly she solves worksheets, or how loudly she participates in class. Charlotte's dominant intelligence is much deeper. Her strongest intelligence type is existential, philosophical, emotional, reflective, and meaning-driven. In simple words, Charlotte is not just asking, "What is the answer?" She is asking, "Why does this matter?" That one difference changes everything. For parents, teachers, school counselors, education psychologists, and professors, this is where intelligence mapping through Vedic astrology becomes extremely valuable. Because a normal system may look at a child and say, "She is sensitive. She thinks too much. She is quiet. She is emotionally reactive. She is not always interested in routine academic pressure." But the Karaka system gives a much sharper diagnosis. Here, Jupiter becomes the Atmakaraka, the soul indicator. Moon becomes the Amatyakaraka, the functional intelligence and career direction indicator. This alone tells me that Charlotte's intelligence is not driven by competition first. It is driven by wisdom, emotional meaning, moral understanding, empathy, teaching, healing, and inner growth. Jupiter as Atmakaraka says the soul wants understanding. It wants truth. It wants meaning. It wants to guide, learn, teach, counsel, and make sense of life. Moon as Amatyakaraka says the working intelligence expresses through emotion, care, memory, nurturing, psychology, children, creativity, and emotional intelligence. So when I measure Charlotte's intelligence, I cannot measure it only through mathematics, coding, examination rank, or verbal sharpness. I have to measure her through the Karaka engine. What planet carries the soul intention? What planet carries the career intelligence? What houses activate learning? What signs shape mental style? And what planetary aspects create intelligence combinations? This is the core of serious intelligence mapping. The first and most dominant intelligence in Charlotte is existential philosophical intelligence. This is the intelligence of the seeker, the questioner, the child who wants to understand life at a deeper level. These children may ask unusual questions. They may wonder about death, God, fairness, suffering, truth, purpose, morality, or why people behave the way they do. They may be drawn to mythology, stories, psychology, spirituality, ancient knowledge, dreams, symbols, religion, philosophy, or human behavior. This kind of child does not thrive when education is reduced to dry memorization. She needs meaning. She needs context. She needs a teacher who can explain the bigger picture. If you give Charlotte a fact without meaning, she may disconnect. But if you show her why that fact matters in life, in people, in society, in nature, in emotion, or in purpose, suddenly her mind opens. That is the first key. Charlotte learns through meaning. Her second strongest intelligence is intrapersonal intelligence, the intelligence of self-awareness. This means Charlotte has a strong inner world. She may observe herself. She may process experiences quietly. She may feel deeply, but not always express immediately. She may need time to digest what happened, why it happened, what she felt, and what it means. This is a child who may not always respond instantly, and that should not be mistaken for lack of intelligence. Some children think externally. They speak as they think. Charlotte may often think internally first. She may need silence, privacy, journaling, reflection, or emotional safety before her real intelligence comes out. If you pressure this child too aggressively, she may close down. If you compare her with louder, faster, more externally competitive children, you may miss her real gift. Her mind is not weak. It is layered. Her third major intelligence is emotional interpersonal intelligence. Moon as Amatyakaraka is extremely important here. This shows a child who may understand emotions very strongly. She can sense moods. She can pick up the atmosphere of a room. She may know when someone is upset even before that person says anything. She may remember emotional details for a long time. She may connect deeply with children, animals, family stories, music, art, and nurturing spaces. This is why Charlotte may be naturally suited for psychology, counseling, child development, teaching, emotional wellness, healing arts, education, art therapy, music therapy, or any field where people are not treated like machines. And this is very important for parents and educators to understand. Some children are intelligence through force children. They respond to challenge, competition, deadlines, and pressure. Charlotte is more intelligence through safety. When she feels emotionally safe, respected, and understood, her learning capacity improves. When she feels judged, humiliated, rushed, or emotionally dismissed, her intelligence may retreat. She may not fight openly. She may withdraw internally. That withdrawal is not laziness. It is protection. Her fourth intelligence is linguistic intelligence, but with a specific tone. This is not necessarily the loud, flashy, debate for the sake of debate intelligence. Charlotte's Mercury influence shows structured communication, thoughtful writing, meaningful speech, reflective expression, and the ability to communicate serious ideas when she has something important to say. She may enjoy journaling, stories, essays, reflective writing, psychology-based content, symbolic storytelling, poetry, philosophy, or teaching younger children. She may become a strong speaker later, but only if her voice is developed through confidence, not forced performance. This child should be encouraged to write, not just school essays, personal reflections, storytelling, observations, emotional vocabulary, character analysis, mythological interpretation, letters, poetry, case studies. If she is given the right writing environment, her inner world can become a powerful communication gift. Her fifth intelligence is research diagnostic intelligence. This is where the chart becomes even more interesting. There is strong Scorpio 8th house, K2, Mars, Saturn, and Virgo type influence in the wider intelligence pattern. That means Charlotte may be able to detect what is hidden beneath the surface. She may notice contradictions. She may sense when something is emotionally wrong. She may become interested in psychology, mysteries, healing, trauma, investigation, hidden motives, symbolic systems, research, or deep analysis. This is not ordinary curiosity. This is X-ray curiosity. Such children can become excellent researchers, psychologists, analysts, counselors, writers, healers, detectives of human behavior, or spiritual investigators. But if this energy is not guided properly, it can turn into overthinking, suspicion, emotional heaviness, or fear of the unknown. So the growth lesson is clear. Teach Charlotte how to investigate without absorbing everything. Teach her boundaries. Teach her how to ask deep questions without carrying the emotional burden of everyone around her. Her sixth intelligence is visual, symbolic, creative intelligence. This is the intelligence of image, design, beauty, emotional symbolism, sacred art, storytelling through visuals, mood, form, and atmosphere. Charlotte may not just like beauty for decoration. She may like beauty because it carries feeling. She may be drawn to meaningful art, mythic imagery, photography, design, music videos, cultural aesthetics, spiritual symbols, mandalas, emotional interiors, or visual storytelling. So her creative education should not be treated as a side hobby only. Art, music, story, visual design, and symbolic expression may become essential channels through which she processes life. Her seventh intelligence is naturalist intelligence. Because of strong moon, K2, Pisces, Cancer, and water sign sensitivity, Charlotte may feel deeply connected to nature, animals, water, plants, weather, and peaceful environments. She may reset emotionally through nature. She may enjoy animals, gardening, natural healing, environmental themes, oceans, rivers, herbs, food, or quiet outdoor spaces. For a child like this, nature is not merely recreation. Nature may be regulation. If she is overstimulated, take her near water, trees, animals, gardens, or open sky. Her mind may settle faster there than through lectures. Her eighth intelligence is musical rhythmic intelligence. This is present through Moon and Venus connections. Music may be emotionally important for her. She may respond to melody, rhythm, voice, devotional music, soft instruments, lyrical writing, singing, or emotionally rich sound. Even if music does not become her profession, it can become a powerful emotional balancing tool. Her ninth intelligence is bodily kinesthetic intelligence, but more selective. She may not necessarily be a purely athletic, high-competition child, but movement can still help her process emotion. Yoga, swimming, dance, somatic movement, martial arts with discipline, expressive movement, or gentle fitness may be very good for her. Her body may need movement to release emotional intensity. Now, what are the challenges? The first challenge is emotional absorption. Charlotte may pick up too much from people around her. If the home is tense, she feels it. If the classroom is harsh, she feels it. If someone is disappointed, she may carry it. Parents and teachers must understand that emotionally intelligent children often need emotional boundaries more than emotional lectures. The second challenge is overthinking. Because she can sense hidden layers, she may sometimes read too much into situations. She may wonder, did I do something wrong? Why did they say that? What does this mean? Are they upset with me? So she must be taught emotional clarity. Do not leave her in confusion. Explain things directly and kindly. The third challenge is sensitivity to criticism. This child should not be shamed into performance. Correction is necessary, but humiliation is damaging. Use respectful correction. Tell her what can improve, why it matters, and how to do it. Do not attack her identity. The fourth challenge is withdrawal. Charlotte may periodically need solitude. She may want quiet time. She may retreat into imagination, music, books, nature, or inner reflection. That does not automatically mean something is wrong. But if withdrawal becomes avoidance, then she needs gentle guidance, not pressure. The fifth challenge is lack of interest in shallow competition. She may not be motivated by be number one in the ordinary sense. She may be more motivated by purpose, love for the subject, emotional connection with the teacher, or the feeling that her work helps someone. So what education style does Charlotte need? First, meaning first education. Every subject should be connected to life. Mathematics can be taught through patterns, nature, architecture, music, or real-world problem solving. Literature can be taught through character psychology. Science can be taught through wonder, ecology, healing, and discovery. History can be taught through human choices, civilizations, morality, and consequences. Second, emotionally safe education. Charlotte needs teachers who are firm but not cruel, structured but not cold, intelligent but not dismissive. If the teacher becomes emotionally unsafe, the subject may become emotionally rejected. Third, reflective education. Give her journaling, essays, case studies, discussions, storytelling, presentations, and project-based work. Ask her, what did you understand? What did this make you feel? What pattern do you see? What does this teach us about life? Fourth, interdisciplinary education. Charlotte should not be locked too early into narrow academic boxes. Her chart supports combinations: psychology plus literature, philosophy plus education, art plus therapy, nature plus healing, mythology plus writing, communication plus counseling, research plus human development. Fifth, visual symbolic education. Use charts, mind maps, diagrams, symbols, timelines, color coding, character maps, emotional wheels, storyboards, and concept maps. Her mind can connect through image and meaning. Sixth, mentorship-based education. Charlotte needs at least one or two mentors who see her deeply, not just teachers who grade her. Mentors who understand her temperament, emotional depth, and reflective intelligence. Now, what fields of study are most suitable? The strongest fields are psychology, counseling, child psychology, education, literature, philosophy, sociology, anthropology, human development, cultural studies, creative writing, spiritual studies, social work, emotional wellness, and teaching. Excellent secondary fields include law with mediation, research-based social sciences, journalism with depth, educational content creation, therapy-related fields, art therapy, music therapy, design psychology, environmental psychology, public policy with social welfare, and humanities. Specialized paths may include astrology, mythology, symbolic systems, depth psychology, trauma studies, natural healing, Ayurveda, UX research, ethical design, or humane technology. What hobbies will bring joy? Creative writing, journaling, poetry, storytelling, music, singing, painting, mythological art, psychology books, spiritual stories, meditation, nature walks, animal care, gardening, dance, yoga, photography, film analysis, theater, dream journaling, volunteering with children or animals, teaching younger children, emotional wellness activities. These are not random hobbies. These are emotional intelligence channels. Now here is the sharp conclusion. Charlotte is not a child to be measured only by conventional academic speed. She is a child to be understood through depth, feeling, meaning, and inner intelligence. Her strongest gift is not simply information processing. It is meaning processing. She can understand people. She can understand emotion. She can understand symbolism. She can understand pain. She can understand purpose. She can grow into someone who teaches, guides, writes, heals, counsels, researches, creates, and helps others make sense of life. But for that to happen, the education environment must match the intelligence type. If you force a Jupiter Moon child into a cold, mechanical, comparison-based system, you may get compliance, but not brilliance. You may get grades, but not joy. You may get performance, but not purpose. But if you give this child meaning, safety, structure, creative expression, reflective learning, and the right mentor, she can become extraordinary. This is why intelligence mapping through Vedic astrology is so powerful. It does not simply ask, is the child smart? That question is too small. It asks, what kind of intelligence is the child carrying? What is the soul trying to learn? What is the career intelligence trying to express? What emotional and cognitive environment unlocks the child? What fields will bring joy, purpose, and contribution? What type of education will make the child feel connected to the world? And in Charlotte's case, the answer is clear. She is a meaning-driven, emotionally intelligent, reflective, philosophical, research-oriented, creative child with strong potential in psychology, education, counseling, writing, healing, humanities, and symbolic or spiritual learning. She should not be pushed to become someone else's definition of successful. She should be guided to become deeply, intelligently, beautifully herself. And if you are a parent, counselor, teacher, professor, or education psychologist listening to this is the point I want you to take seriously. Every child does not learn the same way because every child does not carry the same intelligence architecture. Some children are born to calculate. Some are born to build. Some are born to perform. Some are born to lead. Some are born to heal. Some are born to question. Some are born to translate emotion into wisdom. Charlotte belongs strongly to that last category. She is here to understand life and then help others understand it too. If you want to know what kind of intelligence your child, teenager, or student is carrying, do not wait until they are already frustrated, mislabeled, compared, or forced into the wrong path. Get their intelligence mapping done early. Understand their Karakas. Understand their learning style. Understand their dominant intelligence type. Understand what will bring them joy, connection, confidence, and direction. Because the right education path does not begin with pressure. It begins with diagnosis. And when the diagnosis is correct, the child does not need to be pushed blindly. The child begins to unfold,